What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy here on the Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Joey Wright and John Luke Garofalo. And joining us today for their inaugural appearance on the Fantasy Football Game Show is KC Joyner, a.k.a. the Football Scientist. For those of you that do not know KC, you can find him on Twitter at KC Joyner TFS. You can find his work at thefootballscientist.com, where you can access his 200-plus page in-depth 2023 draft guide going into this season, or his Pay Dirt subscription, which comes with that and a little bit more. Casey was nice enough also to set up a promo code for you guys, Front Yard, 10% off for either of those things.
Nice.
Casey, you got the football tapes behind you. You showed up with a promo code for the chat. I am so hyped to have you on the show today, my friend.
Yeah, 30 years worth of 30 plus years. Those go back to like 1990, some even earlier than that. So the football history.
The tapes outdate me, some of those.
Not quite as old as Joey, though.
Joey's got him beat. We got some people in the chat ready for today's show as well. Craig down here, our chat historian, letting us know that Casey's making his inaugural FYF appearance and is playing in the 87th game of Jeopardy.
It makes it sound so Greek. The 87th games of Jeopardy.
Today,
can we start using Roman numerals, please? That would really make me happy if we could do that.
VXXXVII.
I feel like that was not correct.
LXXXVII. I think that one's more right. Someone check my math. We got Herms in here as well saying, "Hola, bro, chachos. Cannot wait to see you at the expo." What's up, Herms? Welcome.
Right back at you, bro.
Maria stopping by as well, saying, "Good afternoon, ladies, gents, and animals of FYF." What's up, Maria? Welcome in. Albert dropping by to say hello, everyone. And
What up,
Jay
Albert?
wants to know, Joey, is that a Michael Pittman Sr. jersey you rock?
No, this is, I don't know if it'll show. It's Eric Rett jersey.
Oh, it'll show.
Eric Rett.
It'll show, all right.
Yeah.
I thought that was a country singer.
It's
Oh,
his
wait.
brother,
It's Thomas Rhett. That's my
Thomas Rett.
Tim Rhett.
I don't think they're related. Maybe adopted brothers. I don't know.
And Maria fact checking us with the LXXXVII. Nice job. And our friend Ladarius stopping by as well, saying, "Good afternoon, all. Hope all is well with all." Well, guys, today, as we previously mentioned, we brought Casey on to play some Fantasy Football Jeopardy. And given just the breadth of football that's sitting behind you, I think your opponent should be scared. Casey, before the show, we started digging a little bit, but I am just curious, how often do you find yourselves digging into those tapes and magazines sitting behind you? 'Cause if that was in my basement, I feel like either my fiance would never see me or I wouldn't have a fiance.
Well, believe me, Mrs. Scientist has been very good about this stuff over the years. She really has. By the way, everybody asks, "Does your wife like football?" No, she hates football. She honestly does. Well, just because, I mean, think about it. It's here all the time.
I see.
She can't get away from it at all. So, and now our son's going into sports management, and he does more with it too. So, I'm watching, if I'm not watching old stuff, I'm breaking down tapes. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, actually, because sometimes the things come out there. Like if you want to see the 1975 Redskins at Cowboys game, it showed up on YouTube like 2 or 3 months ago. Like, oh my gosh, no way. So yeah, I'll sit there and I'd rather spend nights watching that than just spend anything else. So as far as like live sports, let's go back to 1975 and see Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire saying all sorts of inappropriate things.
Is that
It's the best part about old football.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah, they might be inebriated in some of those games, and some of the things that they're saying are like, if Brookshire had said some of the things that he said about the, they'll show cheerleader spots, and Brookie would make some sort of a comment like, "Oh my God, if they said that today, he'd probably go to jail." Oh my God.
Oh no.
I think a more accurate statement might be they might not have been inebriated for some of those games. When looking at some of those old announcer tapes. Well, you're a lucky man having all that in your basement, but you know what? It's probably not luck because you collected that yourself. We got scampers in here stopping by saying, "Good afternoon, FYF fam." A lot of traveling starting after I give the dogs a bath. A cat? Giving dogs a bath?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Preposterous.
It sounds really difficult. And Andrea stopping by to say hi, everyone. What's up, Andrea?
What up, Andrea?
Well, guys, like I mentioned, we're going to play some Fantasy Football Jeopardy here today. Before we get into that, though, a couple reminders for everybody. First and foremost, if you're not already following KC, make sure you go and follow him on Twitter at KC Joyner TFS. And then check him out at thefootballscientist.com. And if you want a sneak peek of that draft guide, Casey gave me the hot tip before this that you can see most of the quarterback portion of that draft guide on The Athletic, where Casey's also a writer. So check that out. Then go to thefootballscientist.com to make sure you cash in on that offer that he's offering us. After you do that, if you're watching this video on YouTube, whether on the BSN YouTube channel or here on Front Yard Fantasy, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing here. And that little notification bell in the corner will make sure you never miss any of our live shows every day here at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And one last reminder before we get in here, if you go to fantasyalarm.com/draft, you can start your 7-day free trial of Fantasy Alarm's All-Pro subscription. And Howard Bender's cheat sheet is going to be included in that for free in that 7-day free trial. Let's go take a peek at that, see what Mr. Bender's been thinking. You guys ready to get into some Jeopardy?
Ooh, yeah, I'm ready.
We got some good questions today. JL, I'm sure will be back any minute now, and all he's going to miss is the part he doesn't listen to anyways. We're between the categories. He'll ask me what they mean regardless of whether or not he's here.
That's so accurate.
Are you saying mean things about me again?
No,
Yeah.
no.
It was
Joey said, yeah.
Okay, I was lying.
You son of a gun.
Well, guys, today the order for our game is going to be, as I write it here right now, Casey, then Joey, then JL will be third.
Nice.
The categories for today's game. We've got where in the world is Carson Wentz? This category is a classic FYF category. You're going to see a portrait of Carson Wentz somewhere in the world, real or fictional. You just have to tell me where he is, and you're going to get the points for that. Easy as 1, 2, 3. This is going to be, I'll give you a category, something like receiving touchdowns, and then 3 players. You'll rank them for me from greatest to least. Grab bag could be literally anything. Anything. Nothing's off limits in this category. Just name one. I'm going to say something like just name one tight end who caught at least 4 touchdowns last season. If you can do it, you will get the points for that. Then the other KC. We've got KC Joyner on here with us today, but these questions are about the other KC, Kansas City. They're going to be all about the Kansas City Chiefs in this category. You guys marinate on those topics. Start getting your thoughts in order. And I'm going to explain the rules of the game for everybody watching and for you guys. If you've ever watched the popular TV show Jeopardy, this is going to look a lot like that, but with an NFL and fantasy twist. Most of these questions, as you heard from me describing the categories, are going to be NFL or fantasy related. Now, there are a couple other small changes compared to the normal TV show. We will not be buzzing in. We're going to be going in turn order in today's game. That means when it's your turn, you will pick the category and the value that you would like to answer. Get it right, you're going to add that money to your score. Get it wrong, we're not subtracting anything, at least not until Final Jeopardy. There's one other small twist that we have here, though. If you get your question right, you're going to get to choose the category for the person that goes after you. So, KC, since you're going to be going first in this game, you're going to get to choose whatever you want on this board. Get that right, though. You'll get to tell Joey which category he has to pick from next. He'll still get to pick his values, but you do get to pick the category. We're going to go like this till we run out of questions or run out of time, at which point we'll move to Final Jeopardy, the last question in the game. I will give you guys a category, and all of you will write down a wager. If you get this last question right, you are going to add all of that money to your score. Get it wrong, you will subtract it. Whoever has the most money at the end of this game is our Fantasy Football Jeopardy champion, and we will fax you your Kohl's cash within 48 business hours of this game ending.
Nice.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Also, Maria came in here and said, you wouldn't believe who I just saw downstairs.
Who?
Dale, who's downstairs in your house?
I don't know. I'm scared now.
All right.
Maria, I had to control my laughter when I saw that comment.
Casey,
reading rules.
You are up first in this game. You've got free reign of the board. You can choose any category, any value. Where would you like to start?
I'll do like I forget his name, but the guy who was the Jeopardy champion. I want all that. You go with the big numbers first. I'll do the other Casey for 500.
Casey pulling his best James Holzhauer impression.
There
Here
you go.
is the $500 question in the other KC. Who was the last player not named Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill to lead the Kansas City Chiefs in regular season receiving yards? Was it Jeremy Maclin, Dwayne Bowe, or Jamal Charles?
Very interesting. In regular season receiving yards between those three, I'm gonna go Dwayne Bowe.
Dwayne Bowe?
That's who I'll weigh in on.
Dwayne Bowe did do it, but it was in 2010, 2011, and 2012. Jeremy Maclin did it in
Maclin.
2015, in between years of
Yep.
Kelsey doing it. And Jamal Charles actually has a year as the receiving yards leader for the Chiefs as well in 2013. So a bit tricky. All of these guys have done it, but Maclin was the most recent.
Dang.
We'll go. Where in the world is Carson Wentz?
Well, Joey gets to pick his own category here, unfortunately,
sorry.
since you missed that question.
Since I missed. Sorry. Okay. Thank you.
No, you're good. Joey, where do you want
I
to go?
was gonna go there. So I'm gonna go there for 300, please.
300.
Yeah.
Joey, where in the world is Carson Wentz?
He's in Mordor.
Joey, Carson Wentz is
Yes.
in Mordor.
Nice.
They cut his scenes from the movie, I believe. It just was hard to watch. It was uncomfortable because he didn't.
I wonder if
quite fit
he'll be
in
the
with rest
starter
of it.
there.
You wonder if what?
I wonder if he'll be the starter there.
No, have you seen those orcs? That dude is riding the
He's getting
bench.
wrecked.
Joe, you're gonna add 300 points to your score.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and not say anything bad about Carson Wentz. JL, I'm gonna send you to the other KC.
All right, let's go 300.
300 in the other KC. John Luke, here is your question. Which running back holds the franchise record for rushing yards in Kansas City with 7,260 yards, averaging 5.5 yards per carry on over 1,300 attempts?
Jamal
this is-
Charles.
Out of Priest Holmes, Jamal Charles, and Larry Johnson, you're going with Jamal Charles?
Yes.
That is absolutely correct. Priest Holmes is 2 and Larry Johnson is 3. This is the top 3 names, but Jamal Charles is the top on that score, giving you 300 points to start it off. And I know none of those running backs are on the Chiefs anymore, but I did want to talk about the Chiefs running back situation. Casey, I'm going to throw this one to you first. Whenever we're looking at the Chiefs backfield, we saw a bit of a breakout from Pacheco last year, but then McKinnon was like the number 1 running back through 5 weeks of the season, and they still have a first-round draft capital back in CEH on the roster. What are you doing with this backfield in fantasy for 2023?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing with their backfield. Thing about Pacheco is I've got a metric called good blocking yards per attempt that measures how productive a back is when you give him quality run blocking. The league average is going to be usually around, it's 8.2 this year. It's usually between 8 and 8.5. He was at 7.6, and he only gained 20-plus yards on 2.2% of his touches. That was 14th lowest among 38 running backs with 150-plus scrimmage plays. He's only caught 60 passes over the course of 5 college and pro seasons. And I don't know if he can handle 200-plus scrimmage plays in years. He's never done it in college or the NFL. He also got good blocking on a 51.5% of his rushes last year. That's a very high number, 40-ish or low 40s is what you're usually going to get league average-wise. So I'm adding all that up, and I mean, I like his skill set, and I think they're going to want to use him more, but I'm seeing him as a borderline RB2, RB3 in fantasy. I can't go much higher than that because I just have too many question marks about those issues, and I think that Andy Reid is going to say, let's utilize him in a way that maximizes his skill set without wearing him out, because if you wear him out, he's going to be even less productive than he was on a per-play basis than those numbers suggest.
Joey, I see you nodding along there. Do you feel similarly about this backfield?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And I think I know all of KC points were great there. What I like about Pacheco is where he's going. He's going around the 7th and 8th round. And you're exactly right. He's an RB2, RB3, and that's exactly where he's going. So I'm okay taking him, drafting where he is right now, because I do think he is going to get substantial work. The injury that he was dealing with, he was back in practice yesterday. So I'm okay taking Pacheco, but I'm not taking him in like the 4th or 5th round. Like it's later in drafts for sure.
Jill, can I draft Jerick McKinnon? Can you give me permission to draft Jerick McKinnon, please? I want to draft Jerick McKinnon.
You have my full undivided permission.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Also, Jay in here commenting on the running backs listed there. So 3 absolute fantasy studs. Yeah, the 3 rushing yards leaders for Kansas City Chiefs franchise history were, in fact, fantasy football studs. All right. Well, JL, you got that question right, which means you're going to get to pick KC's next category. Where do you want to send him?
All right, KC. Since you're a football guy, let's send you to grab bag.
You guys had luck on the $300 ones. I'll take the $300 one.
300.
Smart.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, what Major League Soccer team does Lionel Messi play for? Inter Miami, the LA Galaxy, or Austin FC?
I only happen to know this because I see stuff come up and things, and we're Florida boys. I'm a Florida boy in Orlando, so it's Inter Miami.
It is Inter Miami, giving you
Nice.
$300 into your bank. So it sounds like you do not follow the Major League Soccer, Casey.
Hey, it's football and occasionally hockey. I mean, again, there's so much football here; it's hard to do anything else, you know.
Joey, as our resident soccer guy, have you watched any of Messi's games since he came to the MLS?
I had friends buy tickets for the Orlando City match where Messi was coming to town and sell them off. But they bought them before Messi was announced, so they got them for cheap. So they bought season tickets for the next 3 seasons by just selling the Messi game tickets. So it's
awesome.
been like a racket that's running here in Orlando lately. But I've not got to watch him play. I watched him play when he was over with Barca. So that's my pretentious way of saying
Jay wanted to know,
MLS.
are Casey and Joey neighbors? Pretty much.
We are. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Today's Jeopardy win is not just for FYF. It's like we have neighboring counties that we're battling right now. Although I like his county better than mine.
It was like, but we're both fighting for his county.
Yeah. I get to move to Seminole County if I win. If I lose, I have to stay in Volusia.
Okay, so you got that one right. You're going to get to pick Joey's next category. Before we do that, though, I did see a question from Grimfan in here that I wanted to hit. He had a potential trade for us. It was a dynasty trade, wanted us to weigh in on. On one side, it is Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, and a first and second round pick. On the other side, it is Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Alexander Madison, and Kirk Cousins. He would be getting the all Minnesota side. Would you take this? Joey, looking at this trade, I'll throw it to you first. Are you taking this?
I am, and then I'm flipping 2 of those Minnesota pieces if I can. I'll send Madison and Cousins out of there right away for whatever I can get for them. I don't want 4 people from one team. I know that's – you can go with players every year with different bye weeks, and that's going to change from year to year. These 4 players are forever attached with the same bye week as long as they're all in Minnesota together. So I'll probably try to flip at least one of those pieces, preferably 2. But yeah, I like the Jefferson Addison side. You're getting the dynasty wide receiver 1 or 2 if you're wrong, and you like Chase more than Jefferson. That's not true. But Addison, he could very well be a top 12 wide receiver in dynasty starting next year. He has the talent for it. So yeah, I like that side much better.
Very cool. Casey, where are you going to send Joey for his next category?
Well, we haven't done easy as 1, 2, 3 next, so let's knock one of those out.
Okay, Joey, which value would you like? 300. Bob had in here wants to know, what is Mrs. Football Scientist making for dinner?
Yeah, we're hungry.
We're hungry.
Bob Head is a long-time paid subscriber and now actually a friend and things. And we used to do ESPN chats for years. I was doing chats on ESPN, and somehow, like I would do it at 4:00 on a Thursday, and so like 5:00, and Mrs. Scientist making stuff for dinner. And so I mentioned it one time, and that became like an ongoing question for the longest time. What's Mrs. Scientist making for dinner? I'm like, hon, what are you making for dinner? Things. I don't know if she's got. I think she's going to do homemade pizza tonight. I think is going to answer that question.
Yeah.
Nice.
What time will that be ready?
Yeah, you're over in Deltona. That's only a half-hour drive. Yeah, 5:00.
Yeah.
All right, Joey. Easy as 1, 2, 3 for 300.
Yeah.
Put these players in order of most PPR fantasy points to least PPR fantasy points. This is last season. Travis Etienne Jr., Joe Mixon, David Montgomery.
Okay. Mixon missed some time, which allowed Samaje P. Ryan to play. So we all know. I know that. So I'm gonna go Etienne Montgomery. Man, no, Mixon had a good season. Is it points per game? No, it's not. I'm gonna say order on the screen.
Etienne, Mixon, Montgomery. Final answer, Joey?
Yeah.
It is Mixon, Etienne, Montgomery. Mixon outscored both of these guys. You almost pulled the right switch at the end, but didn't move Mixon quite up high enough.
Okay.
Joey, unfortunately, no points for you on that.
You got P.
one.
Ryan, Joe.
You got P. Ryan.
You got P. Ryan once again.
Yeah.
Joey, are you in on Joe Mixon this season? There's been off-season tumult, but looking at that, like I think people are underestimating just how good he still was last year because of the time.
If he's on the field week 1, I'm absolutely in on him. But the news came out again that they're looking at another a law case for him. So now I'm worried about him again. So if he's on the field week 1, and we know that, if we get substantial news on that, he's a top 12 running back for me. I just need him to be. I know he's going to be there for 17 weeks.
KC, if
Civil case now.
looking at some of the other backs, I feel like David Montgomery is not been hyped since the trade, but he's stepping into a team that had a running back have 17 rushing touchdowns last year. How do you feel about David Montgomery? Do you think he has similar upside to what we saw Williams have in that offense?
I do. It's when it comes to Montgomery, I'm a couple of different mindsets because I mean he's rushed for 200 plus times in the season for 4 straight years. He's 6th in the league in carries since 2019. You wouldn't think he's that kind of a not necessarily a bell cow, but a high volume guy. But he is. He should be Detroit's leader in inside the 5 rushes. I don't think they want to wear Gibbs down on those carries. He's had 155 catches over the past 4 years, so there's value there. And I rank, I do my matchups, my rush defense matchups, all my matchups by a red, yellow, green category: red, bad; yellow, okay; green, good. He's got 6 green rated rushing defense matchups, and he's got 86 matchup points on the 100 scale, with 100 being the best. So I like all of those things. I'm going to take him as a low end too. I just like the idea that he might have what I call blue rated upside if things go well and they give him those carries and they keep going that much towards the goal line things. I'm concerned though. I think the Lions want to get away from shootout games. They got into too many of them last year, and I think it's gonna cap some of the things. So I don't think he's gonna hit the upside, but I do like where he's at because I think he's just kind of a forgotten prospect because of what's happening, with Gibbs and everything. People are like, oh, don't worry about Montgomery. It's like, no, Montgomery's going to get some of those valuable goal line carries, and I think that's going to make a big difference.
Absolutely. The hype for Gibbs, while warranted, I think might be driving Montgomery's costs down in fantasy leagues this year. Well, John Luke, you are up, and Joey missed that one, which means we have a tied game right now going into the last question of round 2. Where are you going on this wide open board gifted to you by Mr. Wright?
Let's take the filling out of the sandwich. I'll take just name one for 300.
Just name one for 300. I think they're all going to crash down if I get rid of this one. JL, I need you to just name one active NFL wide receiver who played college football for the University of Florida.
Has to be a wide receiver.
I mean, it'll be wrong if it's not.
Florida. I don't know colleges.
Man, 2 out of 3 people on this one probably would have just been
Florida Clemson.
Here. Yeah. One of the same colors, and the other color's close.
All right, I'm just gonna have to take a shot here. Who looks most like Florida?
No, this will be good.
Oh man, all right. Wide receiver, Florida. Wide receiver, Florida. Let's go with Odell Beckham Jr., who went to LSU.
Odell Beckham Jr. went to LSU.
Final answer
is incorrect. You could have said Kadarius Toney, Van Jefferson, Demarcus Robinson, Brandon Powell, Justin Shorter, Freddie Swain, or Tyree Cleveland.
Oh.
Though if you had said anybody besides Kadarius Toney, Van Jefferson,
Demarcus Robinson,
maybe even Demarcus Robinson, I would have been shocked.
I can't believe you didn't tell me that and all the time we spent together.
I know. Unfortunately, JL, no points for you. The chat, Jay jumped in here with Tony. Craig said Justin Shorter before it was revealed. Nice job.
Well done.
Darius Tony just said Tony, and Herms also said that dude whose last name is Shorter that the Bills just drafted. Lots of Shorter love in the chat.
I like Grim's answer. Higgins.
He took the same line of thinking as you, JL. Is Clemson Florida?
Are those the same thing?
All right, well, Casey, we are back to you. The game is tied, and JL has allowed you to pick your own category by missing that. Which category would you like?
Knock out the other KC for 400.
The other KC for 400. After earning the first-round bye in last year's playoffs, the Chiefs defeated 3 teams en route to winning Super Bowl 57. Which team did they defeat by the largest margin? The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Cincinnati Bengals, or the Philadelphia Eagles?
They're all close games. My son is a big Bengals fan, so that game's burned into our memory, especially the wonderful officiating in that contest. Very competent. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with the Jaguars on that because I think it was by enough there, but I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to totally guess though. I'm throwing the Jaguars out there for final answer.
They were all close. The Jaguars
Nice.
was the biggest margin, a margin of 7 points over the Jaguars. They defeated both the Bengals and the Eagles only by a margin of 3 points to pull out those victories. And that Jaguars game was close. That was not a shoe-in for Kansas City. Well, KC, the KC category is going to add another 400 points to your score, and you get to pick Joey's next category.
We'll go with grab bagging. We'll knock one of those interesting questions out.
400.
400. According to the Social Security Administration, what was the most popular baby name for males in 2022? Was it Oliver, James, John, or Liam?
Oh,
This is a very interesting question. I know that the year my daughter was born, 2019, Olivia was the most popular girl name, which was pretty close. But I don't think I've seen an Oliver in her class. So I don't think that name carried over to 2022. I feel like Liam because my daughter, there's like 4 Liams in her school. I'm gonna go with Liam.
Final answer?
Gotta be Liam.
I feel good about it too.
It does gotta be Liam.
Oh,
You got it, baby.
Liam.
all right.
Oliver? What are
Oliver's
we,
number 3.
in a play?
James
Oh
number
my
4,
God.
and then John all the way down at number 26 last year. Pick
Heck,
it up,
Nobody,
John.
nobody named
Seriously?
John now.
Like 4 Liams in her class last year.
Also,
That's wild.
I like
Where'd all the
Georgian.
Liam come from?
George in here said Liam, and then said
Liam.
otherwise John.
Otherwise,
Excited.
Grim guessed John. Jay got it with Liam, and Herms guessed Herms on that one. Herms, I believe, was number 2. It's the one that's not listed here on the list, actually.
didn't make it.
Yeah, Herm should have been number 1.
And Tim said, finally, down with the Johns.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm just happy to see some non-J names sitting up there near the top. I know
Facts.
you Joey's, Joe's, Josh's.
I
Jay.
never thought having kids would do anything good for me in my life, but today they have. So I'm really excited for this.
Well, Joe, you're going to add 400 to your score, tying you with KC. Where are you sending JL?
I'm going to send JL to the other KC.
Okay,
All right,
JL.
200.
200. Which Kansas City wide receiver is currently being drafted earliest according to Sleeper PPR ADP? Is it Rashee Rice, Sky Moore, or Kadarius Toney?
Kadarius Toney.
Final answer?
Yep.
Yep. Even with the injury news, he's still being drafted significantly ahead of these other 2 players. Wide receiver 40 versus wide receiver 55 and wide receiver 58. Jail, if you're drafting one of these guys, not who would you rather have on your team, but taking draft cost into account, which one are you most likely to leave with on draft day?
Probably Kadarius Toney. The gap between Kadarius Toney and the other options on that team, it's not wide enough for me to prefer the value I'd get from choosing one of those later round wide receiver guys. So I'll just go Toney. I'll take I think any wide receiver on that offense is going to have an uphill battle ahead of them. And so I'll just take the best bet.
With Toney. KC, are you drafting Toney in that situation as well, or do you prefer the second-year Sky Moore or the rookie Rashee Rice?
I'm probably going Toney because one of the big things I just wrote about this for an article for the Athletics coming up tomorrow. When you look at there were, I think it was 7 quarterbacks who threw 20 or more touchdowns inside the red zone last year. It's one of the big differences. One of the reasons the quarterback position has become much more valuable is the number of quarterbacks you have throwing red zone touchdowns, and Mahomes is one of the top guys in that category. So Rice is a vertical guy, so you're really not going to expect him to do that well in the red zone. Moore is kind of a similar skill set, but I think Toney's a guy who's most likely to be targeted in there if you're not going to Kelsey. So I like that for him as much as anything else. Plus, what they'll be able to do gadget wise over the rest of the field, but I think he'll get a lot of red zone targets in an offense that probably is going to throw as many of those as any team.
Absolutely. And my answer, based off what you said, is Travis Kelce. I'm drafting Travis Kelce in the first round over all of these wide receivers. Joey, Grim wanted to know, would you draft Rashee Rice in Dynasty?
Absolutely, I would.
Absolutely.
I think that Kansas City, wide receiver room, it could be anyone's job. And there's a name that didn't come up yet, was Justin Ross. Like, I would be happy getting him on my team. He's one of my favorite last round picks right now going. And he's starting to move up even past that to like the 13th round now.
Did he go to Florida?
He did go to Florida. I almost asked what I thought was, I deleted it because I thought it was too mean of a question. It was name the last Clemson wide receiver that Kansas City drafted, because they did not draft Justin Ross. So it would be Cornell Powell. But I took it off.
Yes, the name we all know. We all remember. Brother to Bilal.
Bilal Powell. Ooh, that's a throwback name.
Yeah.
JL,
Yeah.
you got that one right. Closing
Good
the
job,
gap a little bit, bringing you up to 500, and you get to pick KC's next category. Where are you sending KC?
A little gamesmanship here, KC. Let's send him to the other KC.
Of course.
100. There's only one option left, so this is going to be yours. Which of the following pictures is the real Andy Reid?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Those look like the type of glasses that you can pull apart.
Yeah.
Back together.
I feel like I'd want B to be a play caller. I'd like to see what kind of play calls he would come up with. I have a feeling it'd be super creative, especially if food is involved. But you can say the same thing about A, so I'm gonna go with A.
A is absolutely correct. That is, in fact, the real Andy Reid. Going to earn you another 100 points on that one. And Grim said both of them. Jay said it's the same picture, and Andrea nailing it with A. Killed it. That was a tough 100. KC,
real tough.
You get to pick Joey's next category. Where are you sending him?
I know he had luck at that last time. I'll hit him again. Grab bag.
All right, Joey. 1, 2, or 5.
Coward.
Let's go. 500.
You are going to be happy with this.
That picture of Andy Reid made me sad because I was supposed to interview a walrus as Andy Reid at SeaWorld, and they canceled on me the morning of. Okay, let's go.
This should cheer you up. Which of the following is not a code name for a member of the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad in the Kill Bill franchise? Shoot. Is it Black Mamba, Hognose, Cottonmouth, Copperhead, Sidewinder, or California Mountain Snake?
Hognose. It's Hognose, I believe. Give me 1 second, though. Please just give me 1 second, Simon. 1 second.
Top thinking, Simon.
You take care of it.
If I miss a Tarantino question, I'm never going to forgive myself. I feel, yes, Hognose is the wrong. Wait, is not. Okay, yeah. Hognose is not a member, I don't think. The other ones feel like they are. I know 2 of them for sure are. But Hognose is the one that I'm like, no, that's not right.
Locking it in?
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct. Hey. Hognose was the fake name in there. It is a real snake, but it is not one of the snakes that they use as code names. Nice job.
Do you know why
Joey.
they call them hognose snakes?
Because their nose looks like a freaking hognose.
Is that why? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, they're actually really cute. You should Google hognose snakes in a top hat, and it's like top 10 cutest things you'll see this year. You might not even have to add in a top hat. It might just show up if you Google hognose snake. Joey, that is going to put you in the lead. You took the risk going big, and it paid off. Where are you sending JL for his next category?
I'm going to send JL to easy as 1, 2, 3.
Okay, John Luke.
400.
400. Put these players in order from oldest to youngest. Taysom Hill, Melvin Gordon, Calvin Ridley.
Okay. I think I know how old Ridley is. I think I know how old Gordon is. Question is, how old are you?
Taysom Hill.
Mr. Hill. Oh, Sean Payton's baby boy. I think he's probably either a little older than Calvin Ridley or younger than Calvin Ridley. Those are what I'm thinking. Let's go with Taysom Hill, Calvin Ridley, Melvin Gordon.
Taysom Hill, Calvin Ridley, Melvin Gordon. Locking it in?
Final answer, yep.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. It goes Taysom Hill, Melvin Gordon, Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is 28. Melvin Gordon is 30. And Taysom Hill is 32 years old.
That's why running backs aren't valuable in the NFL right there. That's why.
The chat thought it was Gordon, the oldest, almost overwhelmingly. Yeah. Only George and Mr. Scampers knew that Taysom Hill was, in fact, the oldest and said that they're in order already.
It's
nice
the same
job.
Odor, so they all smell alike, according to Scampers.
They smell exactly the same.
Same
all
odor.
right.
You didn't say the order.
Well, KC, that's going to bring us back to you. You've got free reign of the board here. Where would you like to go?
Need to make up some ground here. Where in the world is Carson Wentz for 500?
Oh, yeah. Where in the world is Carson Wentz for 500? Where in the world is Carson Wentz?
How specific do I have to get on this?
If you can tell me the country, that is good enough. Or the landmark. Either way will work. Both are acceptable answers.
Or the movie.
I could be wrong on this, but it could be wrong. I'm just going to say what I think it is. Let me see here real quick. I'm guessing Egypt.
Egypt, is that your final answer?
That is.
Close,
Petra,
but
Jordan.
this is Petra in Jordan. A bucket list trip for me. The 500 is definitely tough in these categories. Carson Wentz, he's busy, man.
He is.
Mordor and Jordan.
Would riding horses with Harrison Ford and Sean Connery been an acceptable answer for that? Or no?
It would have been an acceptable answer, but not for points.
Gotcha.
Been watching a lot of Egypt shows. That's why I was figuring what it was. It looked like a couple different places that they have in Egypt for archaeological
Dustin
things.
knew the name.
Yeah.
Dustin in the chat got this, and George is impressed. All right, well, Joey, a chance to extend the lead. Where do you want to go?
Where in the world is Carson Wentz for 400?
Okay, where in the world is Carson Wentz for 400?
I can't.
Joey, where
see.
in the world is Carson Wentz?
He's at Oktoberfest.
Is that your final answer?
Is that an acceptable answer?
The event or the country would work. And Joey, that is correct. It is Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany. Busting out his lederhosen just for it. Looking pretty good, Carson. It's going to earn you $400, Joey, and you get to pick JL's next category.
Do you have lederhosen, Simon?
I do. I have really nice leader.
I know you do. It's the picture on my phone when you called me.
I spent too much money on those real leather lederhosen.
I am going to send JL to name just one.
Okay. Well, I'll send him to just name one. JL, which value would you like in that category?
Let's go 400.
400. Just name one wide receiver that finished between PPR wide receiver 25 and wide receiver 30, inclusive.
25. Okay. And so wide receiver 3. High-end wide receiver 3.
Yeah, there are 6 wide receivers that are acceptable answers for this question.
And I just got to name one of them.
You just got to name one of them.
All right. Let's go with...
Dustin in here said more like Oktoberfest. Am I right? Got him.
All right, let's go with Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. Is that your final answer?
No. No, it is absolutely not my final answer. In fact, it's not even my rough draft answer. Because my real answer is Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper?
Yep.
Well, that was way more wrong than what you said the first time. He was the top 12 wide receiver. Chris Olave, Zay Jones, Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Johnson, Jacoby Myers, and Adam Thielen were that range down there. Craig guessed Dwayne Bowe. Very close.
I think that's points.
Ladarius Drake London, Mr. Scamper, Zay Jones, Grim Fan, DJ Moore.
Ooh, Drake London's a good guess.
George with Brandon Cook. Some great guesses in here, but none right. That must have been a really hard question. JL, looking at this list of names, which one would you be most excited about having on your fantasy team this year?
Most excited about Chris Olave. Easy. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
I see nods from the guest and from Joey up there. Casey, it's Chris Olave for you as well.
It is. If you look at the vertical numbers, that's production and passes, 11 and more yards downfield and stretch vertical numbers. But for him and his quarterback, there's some huge upside there.
JL, I'm curious what you think about Jacoby Myers now on this Las Vegas Raiders team. He worked in New England, but it was never exciting. Do you think we're going to get similar, non-exciting, but stable production from him in Las Vegas with Jimmy Garoppolo, or are you worried about a drop-off given his new setting?
Too many variables are different for Jacoby Myers. I'm not expecting anything consistent from him. If that happens, that's fantastic. You can pick him up off the waiver wire. most likely at that time in the season, but I'm not expecting that out of the gate.
And Joey, I'll throw this one to you. Scampers wants to
Yeah.
know, who are you least excited about on this list of names?
Probably Jacoby Myers, honestly. Maybe. Here's the thing. Zay Jones, if Ridley doesn't bounce back like the way he thinks he does, he's going to maybe struggle a little bit out the gate. Or if there's an injury, we know what Zay Jones can do. We saw it last year in Jacksonville. But as it is right now, I might have to say Zay Jones. I don't want to, though.
Zay, but reluctantly, it's Jacoby in your heart. Well, we are going to move on to our next question here. KC, the board is yours. Where would you like to go?
I got to swing for the fences at this point, given the point total. So, easy as 1, 2, 3 for 500.
Easy as 1, 2, 3 for 500. Put these players in order of most rushing touchdowns to least rushing touchdowns in the 2022 NFL regular season. Ramondre Stevenson, Cordero Patterson, Miles Sanders.
Sanders is part of the they did the rotation last year, and Hurts gets most of the touchdowns. So I'm probably going to rank him and Cordero Patterson. That seems like is that a red herring, or did Cordero actually score that many? They had Algier last year, but I'm probably going to go. Might not be right, but I'm probably going to do this. I'm going to go in the order it's on the screen. Stevenson, Patterson, Sanders.
Stevenson, Patterson, Sanders, locking it in?
Locking it in.
Well, the correct answer is Sanders, Patterson,
Sanders
Stevenson.
did get more. That's right.
Yeah.
The chat was with you on this one. There was a lot of Stevenson's first in that one. Some people throwing Patterson up there first, but this one was definitely tricky. I think only Scampers in the chat got this one right. Casey, are you surprised by that Patterson touchdown number? And do you think we could see him approach similar touchdown numbers this year, even with Bijan entering that offense?
I think they're gonna make Bijan a bell cow. I'm so fired up for Bijan. Robinson, by the way, not only does he get the carries, he is third, even though he only played he had only a couple seasons at UT. He's third in receiving yards for a running back and like second receiving touchdowns. He's one of the most prolific receiving backs in Texas history. Again, despite not being a four-year player there. And what Atlanta had very good run blocking last year. They had their good blocking rates were very solid across the board. And last year, Algier posted, I believe it was 9.2 yards per attempt on good blocking yards per attempt, that metric that measures how productive you are when you get good blocking. If he can do that in that sort of system, and mind you, they've actually made the run blocking better this year. They made some offensive line investments. If he can do that well, I think Robinson's a guy who can. It's rare to see a back be able to post a double-digit good blocking yards per attempt on a high volume of carries. I think Robinson is the type of back who can do it, and those type of backs deserve to be top 3 picks. So I'm definitely on the Bijan Robinson bandwagon.
You keep thinking you can't get more excited for Bijan's rookie season, and then it just keeps on happening more and more and more.
Those Twitter pictures that he has, all the catches that he's making, these one-handed catches in practice, and he's beating like top-level cornerbacks on the team. And it's like, this is ridiculous. He shouldn't be able to do this. It's phenomenal.
Joey, the board is yours now. Which question and category would you like to answer?
I'm going to name just one for 500.
Just name one for 500.
Why am I keep saying it wrong?
Joey, just name one team that ran fewer than 1,000 offensive plays during the 2022 regular season.
Can I have a second to think? I'm going to say, who is an efficient team that just didn't? I'm not going to say Seattle, but they didn't run a lot of plays. Geno was just efficient. I'm going to go the Arizona Cardinals.
Final answer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was the Chicago Bears.
Oh, the Bears.
Tennessee Titans and the Carolina
Titans did
Panthers.
pop in my head. Yeah. Okay. I don't feel bad about missing that one.
The chat did not get this one either. Broncos, Rams, Vikings, and Commanders.
That's a tough question.
All guesses. Texans and Jags were guessed as well. I was surprised not to see the Falcons down there talking through some of those teams. The heavy rushing teams seem to be near the bottom. But JL, it is back to you. What are you going to do?
I get to pick?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, where in the world's Carson Wentz?
200?
Yep.
Where in the world is Carson Wentz?
We need city and state, please.
Which aisle is that? It looks like the electronics aisle of the Target.
JL, he is a Target. Anywhere there is a Target, they all look exactly like this.
There's
He's
always
at all of
Carson
them.
Wentz in there.
And he's
Folding
always right
t-shirts.
there. And look behind the bottles of Prime that are on sale, and that's where Carson Wentz is hiding.
With his helmet half on, half off.
Oh,
That's
it's
right.
amazing. Even when he's sideways, it
I
stays
know,
on
it's-
like that.
Must be glued in.
Well, Joe, you get to pick Casey's next category. Where are you sending him?
All right, Casey, grab bag.
Hey, 200.
200 in grab bag. What is the name given to the domestic hybrid of a cow and a bison? Is it the beefalo, the buffamoo, or the buff cow?
Someone missed out. Someone somewhere missed out because
Yeah.
these are great.
Of a cow
The
and
buffalo.
a bison. I'm going to go, because we all use bell cow in fantasy, I'm going to go buff cow. I don't know that that's right, but I'm going to go with it because it just feels good.
Buff cow feels good, but it is in fact the
No.
beefalo.
Beefalo.
The beefalo
I
is
wanted
the
Buffamoos
real name.
so bad.
The stupidest question I've ever seen.
Unfortunately,
Buffamoo.
unfortunately, you found the stupidest question ever written on this show, Casey. But Joey, that's going to bring it back to you.
Daily
gonna do here?
dumbass.
I'm gonna do name just one for 200, please.
The Daily Dumbass.
The daily dumbass.
You said just name one for 200.
Yeah.
Okay. Just name one quarterback with 50 or more rushing first downs during the 2022 regular season.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is correct. Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, and Josh Allen also would have been accepted, which means, Joey, you get to pick JL's next category. Where would you like to send him?
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
1 or 2, JL?
Let's go 200.
200. Joe, I need you to put these players in order of most targets to least targets in the 2022 NFL regular season. Alan Lazard, Travis Kelce, Austin Eckler.
Kelsey Eckler Lazard.
Final answer?
Yep.
And you are so right. It is Kelsey
Good
Eckler
job,
Lazard going to
So
earn you another
smart.
200, which means you get to pick Casey's next category.
Oh, Casey, where do you want to go?
With Carson.
Send him to Carson.
Okay. Where in the world is Carson Wentz?
I didn't think anybody but Ken was invited there. I'm imagining that's Barbie Land.
That is Barbie
And
Land. That
Carson.
is going to earn you an additional
He wasn't
100.
invited.
I really like Carson Wentz's sweatshirt. If they only made like a t-shirt of that, I'd buy that.
You think so? Too
I
bad
would.
they
I think
don't.
I would buy that t-shirt. Yeah, too bad they don't.
All right. Well, guys, I think we got. Oh, Casey did go again, which means Joey, you are up next, but Casey gets to pick your category. Casey, where are you sending them?
Grab bag.
Grab bag.
100.
Joey,
I love $100 grab bag questions. They're fun.
which of the following mammals does not lay eggs? Platypus, echidna, or Joey Wright?
Can we say this
I
for
laid
sure?
2
We
eggs
know?
while we've been on stream right now, so I'm eliminated from this. Platypuses do lay eggs, so the enchilada, I'm going to answer that. Enchiladas do not lay eggs.
I am sorry. Joey
Wait.
Wright
Oh, I
does
did it
not
wrong.
lay eggs.
Oh my god.
Joey Wright does not lay eggs, which means that both the platypus and the echidna, multiple
read the
different
question
varieties
wrong.
of it,
Daily double
lay
dumbass.
eggs.
Wow.
Which
I
means
wasn't even trying to
JL,
be funny.
in a surprise twist with nothing but $100 questions left, you get to pick which of the last two you
Huh.
would like to answer.
Didn't expect there to be a question. All right, I guess I'll go easy as 1, 2. No, just name one. 100.
Just name one player who threw 25 or more passing touchdowns in the 2022 NFL regular season.
Patrick Mahomes.
JL, Patrick Mahomes did throw 25 or more passing touchdowns. You could have said any of these names. I'm not going to read them all. It's the names you expect, except for Tom Brady. He's missing because he only threw 24. And
No, it's right
Stanford's-
there under Aaron Rodgers and,
Oh.
and above Justin Herbert.
Well, then I can't read. And I forgot that he threw that many. All right. Well, JL, that's going to add 100 to your score, meaning the score is 1,000 to 1,800 to 900. And because of the way that breaks down, it is very much so anybody's game now because Joey is forced to bet in Final Jeopardy. Your category for Final Jeopardy is going to be NFL player careers. NFL player careers. So write down your wager either on a piece of paper or on your phone, whatever works, anywhere from 0 to the total number that you have. I'll ask you to reveal those momentarily, and then we will get into our final question here. I'm going to click on that last easy as 1, 2, 3 while we're waiting here. The last one was put these teams in order of most wins to least wins in the 2022 NFL regular season. Panthers, Bills, Texans. I think you guys would have gotten that one.
Yeah, Bills. Yep. Yeah.
Joey Wright.
Yeah.
Almost always the answer.
I was in my own head. I'm really happy to see though that like even if I would have gotten it right, I would still have to play because that'd have been really bad if I would have won the game and missed. That would have been bad. I'm okay though.
I hope that is what I hope that causes the defeat today. All right, does everyone have their wagers written down?
Yep.
Joey?
Yeah, I need a second. I don't. You know what? Look bigger, go home. I don't even have to do this, but I want to.
Okay, let's go ahead and reveal our wagers. Joey said 1,800. JL, does that say 300?
300.
JL with 300 and 900 from KC. So KC and Joey going all in.
Yeah, why not?
JL betting $300 here. Let's go ahead and pull that final question up. Your last question in today's game. Write down your answer and have the chat closed, if you will. Either have this full screened or be on a separate tab just so we're not looking at it. Your last question is, which quarterback has played for the most NFL teams during their career? Brian Hoyer, Geno Smith, or Teddy Bridgewater?
Does that count this year?
Yes, that counts 2023.
Okay, thank you.
My pencil broke.
Actually, I lied. Looking at the numbers, this does not count 2023.
Okay.
Okay. Does everyone have their answers written down?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, let's go ahead and see what you guys put. We've got Boo Hoyer. Oh, it just says Hoyer with a 300 above it. Hoyer and then Bridgewater. So 2 Hoyers and a Bridgewater. We have some answers in the chat as well. And the answers are all Hoyer, Bridgewater, and then Scamper's coming in saying it's either Hoyer or Bridgewater. So the chat is in full agreement with you guys. Well, the correct answer to this question is with 7 teams, so 2 more than the next closest, Brian Hoyer has played for the most teams. Teddy Bridgewater with 5, Geno Smith with 4. I was going to give the extra bit of information that even if we counted this year, it wouldn't change the answer, but I thought that might give away too much there. Joey.
That's I was thinking of Bridgewater. That was going to be, yeah.
Joey, you are going to be the winner of today's game of Jeopardy. Congratulations.
So you guys can clip it all you want, but it doesn't matter that I missed the $100 grab bag question because I still won. But yet, what will live in infamy? Me missing a question or me winning a game? Because I do that all the time on the show. So, the clip's gonna live.
Najee Harisky business.
Najee Harisky business.
Just remember, Joey, when you're feeling yourself, just remember. His name is Robert Paulson.
JL, come on.
That was the worst.
And other gaffes.
Casey, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on here, play some Jeopardy with us, and taking the time to impart us with some of your fantasy football knowledge.
Hey, it was great to be here. This is an interesting concept. I got to say, you guys, a lot of shows. This is unique. I got a kick out of this. I'm going to be watching this in the future.
I really appreciate it. And this was just the first part of the story. We got to get you back for that redemption arc to take Joey down now.
Yes.
Appreciate you taking the time. Everybody watching, if you are not following KC, go check him out at KC Joyner TFS. You can find all of his work at thefootballscientist.com. That's where you can subscribe to his monthly subscription, the Pay Dirt subscription, or grab his 2023 draft guide. And if you use the code FRONTYARD, you'll get 10% off. Casey was generous enough to offer that to you guys. Until tomorrow, though, that is going to be it for us. We'll be back at 3 p.m. Eastern time every day, Monday through Friday, and that includes Thursday, August 10th, which is the day that's happening tomorrow. Until then, though, we are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Thank you again, Casey. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And thank you, Joey and JL. We'll see you guys on another time.
Bye-bye.
Casey, I like pineapple on my pizza, just to let you know.